Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Hey, everybody, welcome. We've got a special show for you today. You know, when we think about what it's like here on our planet, many of us have been touched by an angel. That angel has been our animal friends, whatever they are. You know, for me, I think about the time I spent and the unconditional love that we get. And, you know, it doesn't matter what animal friend you have in your life. It really doesn't. I mean, at one point in time, I did give Benny my goldfish. Right, Benny?
Yeah, you certainly did.
Yes.
And a few other items in the tank, too, not just the goldfish.
A few other things at
right?
the goldfish.
Right.
We actually did a whole show on the relationship.
I know.
Yeah, we did a whole love show on the relationships because somebody told me with this little goldfish, and I couldn't keep it because I had to move, and I couldn't take it with me. And so, yeah, people, you're like thinking, really, Pat, you had a goldfish and you couldn't take it with you? Well, here's the deal. It started as a 1-inch goldfish. By the time I gave it to Benny, what was the size of that goldfish?
Gosh, I mean, just a little bit bigger than your standard goldfish size. Yeah, right?
Yeah, it was big. I actually had to upgrade the tank. But somebody said to me, why don't you get these baby lobsters and put them in the tank? Because the fish had gotten so big, I was like cleaning that tank out like every other day. And so I got these little lobsters and put them in there. What happened then is a story for another show. Here's what I want to say. Don't listen to the people that sell you these fish and tell you that you're going to put a lobster in there and the lobster and the goldfish are fighting for the same food. Don't do it. But that's a whole nother show. You know, here's what I want to say about that. You know, for me, I was given this goldfish at a point in time in my life when I needed it. I really did. You know, you might be thinking, oh, you have an affinity for goldfish or fish. No, I don't. It was a gift to me. And it was such a special relationship that only Darcy Pariso and Stacy Lewis joining me here today might be able to talk about. But we each have relationships like that. Every one of us has some kind of animal friend that has showed up in our life or a totem of sorts or a bond that we've created. And when they move on to the next plane of their energetic existence, we mourn. Well, you know Darcy, and if you don't, let me tell you about the work that she does. You know, she helps us all understand the connection we have to our animal friends. And whether it is being able to communicate with them as she does intuitively, inspirationally, and spiritually, or help us more understand the healing or the soul wisdom they have. She is the one that really taps into that wisdom to help us understand a deeper meaning for the wounding in our lives and what has to be done. Stacy joins us here today as the founder of Centers Development Wellness Ranch in Snohomish. And when we think about a centaur, of course, that's my zodiac sign, kind of. We're thinking about a very powerful presence. Now, in the years that she has combined her passion for life coaching and her love of horses, and this is what she does. She brings it all together in a very unconventional way so that we can see the miracle of healing happen right before your eyes. Today, what we know about Darcy and Stacy coming together, both of them doing this fabulous equine healing and connection work, we now know from studies and studies that are out there, there's a healing power of this work that by far exceeds most of what our minds and our day-to-day reality, logical brains can figure out. But what we now know is it works. Welcome to both of you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Pat. Thanks for having us today.
Yes,
and what a great story.
We're very excited to be
gosh.
online. Thank you. Talk to your listeners. Yes.
Well, let's talk about the connection that both of you have, because, I know we're going to spend the rest of the show talking about connection to horses, but let's talk about the connection that both of you have. You each come together, bring in a unique gift to this upcoming workshop, by the way, which is April 21st, part 1, and May 5th, part 2. But you both have come together in a way that says, listen, we can bring our talents and our gifts, and maybe what we can do is share them with other people. And then how about some healing? How did that happen for you? Darcy, why don't you go first?
Well, excuse me. Actually, it happened, Stacy came to an animal communication class that I was teaching, and that's how we first met. And then I went to an event that she was putting on called Hug a Horse. And it was there that things happened that I didn't expect. And they did a full circle. And it's a pretty interesting story, but the horses were calling me, and we had one horse in particular, Ella, who was kind of co-creating our future and bringing us together for our life purpose. So that one simple hug a horse and all that happened there and going forward really has changed our lives and brought us together this way. And feels very magical, very, very special.
Yeah, Stacy, did you know at the time that, wait a minute, there's something going on here. There's some connection that I need to have with Darcy. There's something here that I am drawn to. What were you drawn to?
Yeah. I have been sitting with, I live on my ranch. I've been sitting with this. I've been doing different workshops with businesses, and I wanted to bring it more to a personal level, to a more spiritual level. And so to do that, I had to enhance some of my spirituality. So I went to a Reiki class. And at the Reiki class, the next day was Darcy's animal communication class. So I wasn't even really prepared to talk to an animal communicator. I thought, I'll go to the class and figure out what happens. And I was just so impressed with Darcy's skills. I had a friend who recently lost a horse about a month prior to that. And Darcy just gave her wonderful messages, knew exactly what was happening with the horse and my friend's relationship. I was so impressed with her. And so at that point, I invited her out to my ranch, and I thought she could help me communicate with my horses. And so that's when she came to Hug a Horse, and it's just like a path we're purposely being led on. It's really fun.
We are. We're definitely guided. We feel that.
Yeah. And, as a result of coming together, you now have, created something absolutely phenomenal to help people. And, I wasn't kidding before when I was talking about the fact that here I am with this incredible goldfish that I had to pass on to Benny. And at the time in my life, I needed that goldfish. I needed to have that special connection. And there's really no limit to the way we connect with our animal friends, is it? Is there?
No, there really isn't. When I talk to horses, all animals really, but horses, there's something really special about them. And often those conversations are spiritual, and you just really, you trust the message because there's just a knowing that comes along with it. It's, the quality of the insights, the knowledge. It's like you're talking to a trusted friend that they know you at your core. They know your soul.
And I think one of the special things about horses, so a goldfish, it stays in the bowl. It doesn't, like some of our cats, they come inside and they stay inside. Horses, they're just, you look at them and they're muscles. They don't have to cooperate with us. They could say, you do what you want, and I'm going to do what I want. I'm not going to take you for this ride. You can't put me on the halter and lead me, and you can't even catch me if you don't want to. So their partnership with us is so significant just in their size and their spirit.
Yeah, I mean, when we're thinking about this today, we're thinking about the power and the presence of them, right? But
Yes.
we're also thinking about how connected we are as human beings to them. And what I mean by that is that you talk to a young child who is so drawn to their presence, and there's no question at all from that child's point of view of what's calling her forward, even if he or she is not able to say, yeah, this is why I'm connected here. And yet we grow up as adults, that connection doesn't change. What is it? And I want to ask this and talk about this when we come back. What is it about the healing power of horses that is so intuitively available for people? And when we come back, let's talk about the role that horses have been called to play in the role of energy healing. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, everybody, we're going to tell you how you can find out more about this event. And also, we'll take your questions, 1-800-930-2819. We'll be right back with Darcy and Stacy. We'll be right back.
Hey, baby, let me see your brand new saddle. I'll put that pretty thing up on my horse. Let's get it on real tight now.
Integrate spirituality into your everyday lives on Universe Soul Heart Radio. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio as Kathleen Johnson explores the concept of sensible spirituality, keeping you grounded, connected, and centered on the path to wholeness. Kathleen has dedicated her life to facilitating holistic healing and wholeness in others. Listen to Universe Soul Heart Radio and learn how to flourish, grow, and impact all we do on planet Earth. For more information, go to universesoulheart.net.
Tune in to the hit show Raging Skillet Radio, Mouthing Off with Chef Rossi. Chef Rossi mouths off about different subjects in pursuit of breaking down walls and opening up your minds. She and Dr. Pat banter back and forth, taking from the headlines of the day on subjects that reach beyond what goes on in the world into your hearts. And go to theragingskillet.com to find out more and let Chef Rossi know what's on your mind.
Holistic Medical Center is where you find it all. A healthy space with doctors who care, see, and listen to the whole you. Hi, this is Dr. Darvish. If you have not found an answer to your chronic symptoms, you will find answers here at Holistic Medical Center. Our doctors find the root cause of your symptoms and guide your body towards healing naturally. We transform lives from within. Visit drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
Are you traveling most of your day? Do you want to take Transformation Talk Radio with you anywhere you go? Well, guess what? There's an app for that. Just go to the App Store on your Apple device or the Google Play Store on your Android and search Transformation Talk Radio. Catch all of our live shows no matter where you are. Thanks for listening.
Are you stuck in unhealthy habits, toxic relationships, or low self-esteem? Do you crave a life of inspiration, love, self-acceptance, and fun? Sounds like you're on the verge to your next big thing. Join Laura Richer, host of On the Verge Radio, helping you use your breakdown for a breakthrough, overcome life's greatest challenges, and live the life you want and deserve. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio or visit SeattleHealingHypnosis.com for more information.
The Janice Underwood Show, helping you create the life you want, not the life you tolerate. Tune in each Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio as Janice delves into the Life Creator System and the next step in your spiritual evolution. Janice Underwood is gifted at helping spiritually minded people shift their mindsets to unleash the Creator within. Our souls wish to wake us up. Those of us listening hear the call. Do you? For more information, visit JaniceUnderwood.com.
I got the horse and she got the saddle. We like to ride side by side. Oh, I got the horse and she got the saddle. Together we
Oh, boy. That is the one, Benny. Thank you so much for that. All right, that's good. How many of us grew up really fascinated by the power and the presence of horses? We know now that there is something to be said about that, and something to be said about, how we can connect in many ways. But before we jump to that and we talk about this, would you both let folks know how they can find out more about this upcoming workshop? I mean, I just mentioned it a little bit, but tell us where they can go to find out more, where the flyer might be, that they can sign up.
Okay, sure. It's on both of our websites. So that's darcypariso.com and Centaur.
And mine is centaurdevelopment.com. That's CENTAUR development.com. And on my website, I have a lot of information about why our horse is special to work with. Different programs we can do, the workshop, whole lot of information about the workshop, any questions you have about the workshop. Also, both of our telephone numbers are there, so feel free to call us and ask us any questions around it too.
Awesome.
And it's on both of our Facebook pages also.
Yeah. So this is to not just talk about what the power and the purpose of horses are, but it's also to have people come and experience it. And I think that's what we're talking about today.
Yes.
I think before the break, what we were saying is, look, there may be people that intuitively have a sense of the power, the energy healing that could happen through horses, but I don't think they know exactly what that is. So let's take a closer look at what's different about horses and other animals, and how can they help us heal?
Yes. Okay, well, horses have been with us throughout history, from the Romans to Native Americans. They've been in partnership with us. Matter of fact, George Washington has wrote a lot about his relationship with his horse. And horses hold this history, this movement, the energy of it. It's still on the planet. It's still a magical source they can tap into. And a thing that's super special about horses is they're prey animals and they're herd animals. So they have to really read each other to survive in the wildness. You have to know, okay, which horse is going to sleep, why the other horse is on lookout. If you've watched or know anything about wild horses, it's for their whole survival. So, and they're 100% mindfulness in the moment. That's another thing to survive. We all try to practice mindfulness. Let's not think about tomorrow. Let's not think about what we're doing. Horses do that constantly. And so then when you're with them, and I have clients come in the arena with them, the horses also mirror to us what we're doing, because they're sensing, okay, is this a safe person? Is this not a safe person? So that keeps us with the history they have from helping us develop this country to the relationship with people and their relationship with being mindful in the purpose. We've got this magical line we can walk between present day, linear present moment, to nonlinear. It's just, anytime I'm with my horses, and Darcy's experienced, it's hard to even put into words how fun and how magical it is.
Yeah, it's like we're plugged in. they're in front of us, and they throw back the cords, and we just plug into them, and it's we go to all different places, and it's, like I said, it's magical, and it's practical, it's down to earth, but it's also very spiritual. And they, like my work with Ella, she, like I mentioned, the hug a horse. The first time I saw her, she was pushing this energy back. She was saying, go back, go back. And I was confused. I had never met her before. And what I learned was that she recognized me from a past life where I was a trainer, and I was thought I was doing my best, and I pushed her. I pushed her so much to the excess that she was injured. So it was my perfectionism that hurt her, and she recognized it. So it took some time for us to, for her to allow me to even be around her. And I had gone to, Stacy and I put a workshop on last year, and she did this. She's a wonderful, wonderful life coach. Thank you. Yeah, she really is. And in just probably 10 minutes, she changed my life. And what she did was, it was an exercise maybe I should let you explain your
Okay.
exercise.
So a lot of people, as you say, are known they're drawn to horses. It's hard to actually own a horse and have a horse and be with a horse. So through this workshop, you can come into the arena and you approach the horse and you say, I trust you, I don't know, or I don't trust you. And so you're really feeling what you feel. You're honoring what you feel. Because a lot of times you'll just want to go right up to the horse and say, whether you're fearful or not, you'll push back that fear. So this is being, really feel what you're feeling, go up to the horse. And in Darcy's experience, she was saying, I don't know, I don't know. And you could see Ella saying, I don't know either. And so there was a pause, and they were honoring, I don't know what I think. I'm not. So sometimes when people come up and say, I trust you, and they don't trust the horse will leave saying, you're incongruent with what you're feeling. So it gives you a chance, again, to be in that moment. And then in not trusting each other and recognizing that, they were able to come together. And Ella's a special horse. She's leading all of this. And in that, I can read her body language I've been with her for 14 years. So when horses yawn and release, and soon as Darcy and her came together, Darcy was exhaling and relaxing too, but so was Ella. Her back leg was cocked, she was yawning and releasing the tension. And from that point on, now I think they're helping each other heal in so many ways.
They have, yeah, absolutely. Another thing that happened was, what I did was, I didn't know, and her body language was showing me that, I don't know if I trust you either. So I had to clear myself and make sure I was in a good space. And then I said, okay, I feel good. So as I approached her, she stopped, showing me her teeth like, look out. And she relaxed, and she just relaxed and ignored me and even let me hug her. But what happened going forward was she was coming to me, sending me messages, and even coming to me at like 4 a.m., and one particular time, it was 4 a.m., and she was showing me all these really wonderful past lives we had. And I was going to be seeing Stacy and Ella that day. So I thought, this is going to be great, and I'm all excited. On the drive up to Snohomish, to Centaur Development Ranch, she said, we're going to clear you to the core. And I told Stacy that when I arrived. And so Stacy recommended that I just go to the arena and work with her myself. And during that time, she showed me that I had a lot of grief in my body, and so did she. And so we just started clearing, having these images and stories, lifetime after lifetime of the grief and horrific things that happened to us and between us. So that was going on. And then she brought up some personal things. You also have these other things to clear. And I had no idea. I thought I was okay. And then Stacy came down to the arena and she said, what are you doing? You need to go in there with her. She needs to clear too. So
yeah. So should we do a little background about?
Yeah, I think what you're talking about for people that are listening is, both of you together have created a way through your own learning, your own healing. What you've done is you've tapped into a way for others to tap into the animal soul wisdom here of horses. And then from that, be able to find out at the very core of what needs to come forward to be healed. And I think that, there's that connection that people have with horses and the process that you both are bringing forward, where it accelerates the journey.
Completely.
The journey. And I think that's super important, right? It's like you get it's like you, like on that Star Trek movie, like where they have to go like from one universe to the other, and they hit that special thing that takes them there. That's what we're doing here. But it is important for us to make sure we mention to people that both of you are trained in this. And that's what sets it apart. You know what you're doing.
Yes. It's funny, Dr. Pat. I've had so many people who have, experiences. They're sharing grief. They're crying, and they're like, "Oh my God, if I would have done this, I would have saved years in psychotherapy." I mean, I've had so many people say that.
And that's what Ella told me. She said that she said that this is an advanced psychology class, is what she told me.
Yeah.
It very much was.
Yeah, and not only do we work with Ella, we have like 4 other horses on site that are magical as well. But Ella, you can tell, is our lead primary
horse.
Superstar. Yeah,
she is. Yes.
Well, I mean, we know this about horses too, right? Maybe we don't know it factually, but what we do know is that, they are here to make sure that they are sort of the guardians, I think, if we were to look at them. They're the guardians of, I want to just say there's a soul consciousness to them that is so important for us to understand. Yes. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Definitely.
And I think that soul consciousness comes from their history with us, like I've said earlier, in creating the world in which we live today.
Yeah. Now, tell me a little bit about how the workshop's going to work. I mean, there's a day 1 and a day 2. And I think it's important to go through this, but let's first go to a short break. And when we come back, I'd like you to tell us about what a day in the life of this looks like. And for our listeners out there, to make sure that they can tap into how this is going to work for them and what a special, special opportunity this is. Let's take a short break, everyone. We'll be right back. Darcy is joining us here today, as well as Stacy. When we come back, we're going to tell you about the flyer. We're going to tell you about the workshop and taking your questions. 1-800-930-2819. We'll be right back. I'm just going to grab the
Ignite your inner magic on Grow Your Soul Radio with Jane Matanga. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio as host Jane Matanga explores how to overcome your fears to help you gain the inspiration you need to awaken your path to joy. Learn the way to life mastery and the enlightened path with Grow Your Soul Radio. For more information on Jane Matanga and her work, visit enlightened-path.com.
Conscious Confidence Radio, a timeless wisdom with Sarah Main. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio and join Sarah on an adventurous journey to the deeper level of meaning to move beyond today's world of constant change, confusion, and uncertainty beyond the shadow of fear. This hit show explores key concepts such as confidence, values, and attitude in a dynamic way. To learn more about Sarah and her work, visit sarahmain.com.
Did you know that all of the shows on the Transformation Radio Network are available as podcasts to stream or download?
Really?
Check us out. Go to transformationradio.fm. We have business shows, spiritual shows, energy healing shows, and pretty much everything in between. Something for everyone, guaranteed to inspire, educate, and transform. We are transforming the world, one listener at a time.
Calling all moms, it's time to awaken your vibrant, intuitive, loving self in every area of your life. Join host Debbie Pokornik as she shares thoughts, stories, and tools to help you stand in your power. Listen to Vibrant, Powerful Moms helping everyday women create extraordinary lives. Mondays at 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. For more information about Debbie, visit empoweringenergy.com. That's empowering with letters NRG.com.
Let It Go Radio. The future awaits you. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio as host Barbara Scheidegger explores the way to clarity, peace, and how to live a successful life on your terms by turning negative experiences into positive ones. Barbara's curiosity about the human experience drives her both personally and professionally. As a life coach, author, and renowned clinical hypnotherapist, Barbara knows how to move forward in a natural, organic way without side effects. If you want to grow, be sure to tune in to Let It Go Radio. To learn more, visit letitgohypnosis.com.
Are you searching? Looking for a sign? A message you need to hear? From the great unknown, from the most mysterious place that is the most familiar to your soul in the depths of who you are. The universe put someone here to talk to, someone God gave a blessing to, that you may find insight with. TheAngelLady.net. 1-800-323-1790. 1-800-323-1790.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Pat. Now, listen, here's what I want to say to you. As a child, before my dad lost everything, he was somebody that had a few bucks. And I was so enamored with horses. I mean, honestly, from as little as I can remember, there were two things in my life that I was inseparable from. One was a pair of boxing gloves. Clearly, my uncles gave me the boxing glove. The others was this wooden horse. Now, I don't think that we have wooden horses anymore. Now you can buy batteries. I don't even know. But it was this wooden horse. And I remember, somehow that my family decided you got to get this kid on a horse. Now, for you guys out there now, at 5 years old, you don't go to Van Cortlandt Park in New York and get on a big, giant horse. You're 5 years old. But if your dad's got a few bucks, you do. And so I started horseback riding lessons at 5 years old. And here's what I want to say, and with the whole outfit and the whole thing, because this was the dressage, I guess, with the boots and the hat, and oh my gosh, if I only had a picture of that. But here's what I want to say about it, and then Darcy and Stacy are going to explain. One day in December, was December 11th, my birthday, my 6-year-old birthday, and I was supposed to go ride, but it was something like minus 11 degrees in the Bronx. And the stable called my dad and said, no, it is too cold for the horses to ride, for her to ride. No, we're not doing it. Well, if you want to see a little bit of a crazy child have such a fit, my dad called him back and said, you've got to put this kid on the horse even for 5 minutes. And that's what happened. They went at Van Cortlandt Park. They saddled that horse up. I have a picture of this in my mind like it's yesterday. Believe it or not, I don't remember a lot, but I remember the smell of the leather. I remember the horse's breath. I remember them putting me up on a big, they had these wooden step things you had to use to get up on a horse. I remember getting up on that horse, and I remember simply walking, and that put me at rest. Stacy, Darcy, now look, that isn't a little example of something that I've never forgotten, and to this day have a special relationships with horses. But now you have a workshop that completely addresses that and so much more. You can't explain it to adults. My dad just wanted to shut me up. What do you guys make of that?
I feel sorry for those of us who have the horse bug. I really do, because we will do anything and everything to support it. Ask my family.
Yeah. And Dr. Pat, I really relate to your story, because back in the 80s, I was on a trail ride with a horse, and I just felt his frustration. And the story was that he was a racehorse, and now he was doing this trail, and he just went up and down this steep hill and back down, and the rocks were falling away under his feet. And I wondered why it had to be that way. And I sent him love. I said, I'm so sorry it's like this for you. And I sent him love, and he stopped and he whipped his head around and looked me directly in the eyes. And I was shocked because it was the first time that I had that really deep connection that I understood.
Yeah.
Wow.
How connected we are.
And they do. So we're in preparation for the workshop description we're going to give you. It's amazing what people come away with. Like Darcy just said, she learned about her animal communication skills through a horse. Mm-hmm. I have people, I have a Reiki master who loves my horse, and Ella comes and joins her in her session. She smells her. It's like, oh, she's here. And so where they can take us, when our participants enter the workshop, it's like, okay, so I'm not too sure what's going to happen, but it's a path, it's that soul agreement that they help open up. And so, Darcy, talk a little bit about some of the things we'll do specifically in our workshop. That would be great.
And I was going to say, and that's the attitude that you come with. You come with that openness and having no expectations, and things just happen. So in the first day, we're going to talk about, it'll be communication, but in a variety of ways. It'll be first, maybe animal communication and that connection, trusting your intuition, building upon that muscle. But right on, day one, we're going to jump into some energy work, feeling their bodies, getting first impressions, and all the different ways we do that, the bonding, learning their body language, like I mentioned earlier with that exercise with Stacy and with Ella, the gestures, the nonverbal clues, and, gaining their acceptance.
And then, because their bodies are so large, we'll also have pendulums we'll be working on with the horses and different energy centers and the different chakras on the horse.
Mm-hmm.
That's really fun to practice on because, humans, we're a lot smaller than horses. And horses, you can just really see. And I do have some, as people, my horses have some specific health issues. So it'll be great because you can actually identify those in the workshop, and we'll teach you.
Yeah, we're going to be scanning bodies for imbalances, looking for any physical issues, like you said, any blocks, and seeing what we find. And I think that I know that what's going to come up is people are going to see how easy it is and how intuitive they are and how they can help animals, whether it's horses, their dogs and cats at home, or other animals. And it really builds your confidence, and it opens up another world, and I want to say another dimension, because that's really what it is. We can meet animals there. We can meet horses there. And being in that special place, working with their emotional body and those chakras.
And the horses are so big and tangible. You say, oh, yeah, it's working. Like, I didn't communicate with my horses that I thought before I had my workshop with Darcy. And then it's learning to trust my intuition. Is this my intuition, or is this something that's coming in from, the animal giving me a message? And we have some really powerful horses that shoot their message to you, like Darcy said, even, physically and in body language and mentally and emotionally. And so it gives you the opportunity to really, we all kind of think, oh, yeah, I can communicate with my animal. Yeah. But do I think the animal's hungry just because I'm hungry? And am I, projecting my feelings onto the animal? So this will help you really trust yourself. And in the first workshop we did with Darcy, she did some great exercises in this is how you trust your intuition, and then this is what the horses are saying. And then it's amazing because in the first part of the workshop, we just ask you to observe the horses, write down anything, that's random thought. And then it's at the end of day 2, we talk about those random thoughts. And, there a lot of times I've heard where someone knew that a horse was pregnant before they did, because, it's just a random person that came. So it validates our knowledge that we intuitively have.
Yeah. I think the people that are there, they move out of their physical state and they see themselves really on that soul level, that interdimensional connection, and they know how easy it is to access that and that they can take that forward in their entire lives. And horses will give you information. Other animals do too, but horses, there's that special connection. They'll give you a checklist of things to do. They'll tell you to look at a certain area in your life. They have given us so many detailed informations and steps. And even this morning, Ella's been hanging around and Stacy showed up and I said, yeah, she's telling us this and that. But it's really fun to have that direction and that guidance and to know that, you're not alone and you're safe and you have animals that will help you that are here specifically. There are our teachers, our counselors, advanced psychology classes.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, listen, we have somebody calling in that has a few things to say, too. Mr. Benny, we have Ann, right?
Correct. Ann, welcome to the show.
Hi, Ann.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hi,
How are
Ann.
you today?
I'm doing quite well, thank you.
And what did you want to say about these two?
So I attended the one-day workshop back in August, and I wanted to let people know that I'm studying animal communication, and I had a lot of performance anxiety around talking to the horses, particularly since I hadn't really been around horses. And so the day started off really frustrating for me, but by the end of the day, and I don't know how much you all have talked and if I can name horses' names, but the one interaction where Darcy was able to see the past life between the horse and the person who was there was broke through for me and was so powerful and really solidified my desire to do animal communication, because I saw how powerful it can be in healing relationships.
Wow. I mean, so you got to see this firsthand.
I did.
What would you say to people that are thinking, okay, what exactly does a workshop like this look like? You know, most folks are fascinated by knowing that Darcy and Stacy have some enormous talent, but this is about really bringing that talent to the forefront for the individual, right?
Right. And I would say that for the experience, the between the horse and the rider that I just talked about, it was fascinating to see that person who, I mean, we went through a number of exercises throughout the day. It's like, yeah, I don't get this. Yeah, this isn't me. You know, she just wasn't sort of dialed in, and she didn't really consider herself that kind of person. But by the end of the day, I think she considered herself that kind of, I think she really got it. And it was just beautiful to watch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember that.
She was able to start, communicating with her horse.
Yeah.
And in that specific experience, that really was her horse. That was because he lives at our farm, so it was her horse. And since then, in even the year, you should see how their relationship has blossomed. It's amazing.
I wondered.
Yes.
And the horse, that particular horse too, I think he's going to be working with us in this workshop. That's how much things have changed.
And I know that he will be ecstatic about that.
Yes.
It was clear that he wanted to participate the first time. It's like, come on, let me in. I got something to say.
Yes. This person was so stunned, and she was looking at him like, who is he? I didn't know he could do all these things. He's giving messages. Yeah. What is he doing here?
And their past life experience totally accounted for a lot of the issues they had. They were having.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to see that, wasn't it, Anne?
Yeah. Wow. I just highly recommend. And like I said, I was pretty reluctant to be around horses, and it was I'll bring out my woo-woo. The container was so well held, and the experience of the instructors that I never felt scared around the horses, even when the young one was sort of running around and bucking and like, hello, look at me. Look at me, I'm performing for you. Please look at me now. I never felt scared around them. So
that was Ruth, the performer. She was putting on a show.
Wow. I mean, don't you think this is wonderful when we think about how we get connected and how that connection is a portal for healing?
Oh,
because that's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah,
completely. Yep. And we just have a quick story about and Ella's own healing. Do you want to talk about that? Well, so Darcy and I had this same experience with Ella, and we weren't together. Like, I remember Darcy was on a ferry headed somewhere.
Yes.
And we think the animals, are so, smart and pull us forward, but yet they're growing and they're healing, and they bring the people that they need with them to heal too. And Ella has some bone issues that aren't going to get better on her feet. And so she was actually thinking about leaving the planet probably about 3 weeks ago. She was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm calling all my friends, who know Ella well. It's like, okay, let's send Ella some energy. What can we do here? And it turned out in past lives, I'll let Darcy talk about that.
She was coming through showing me a lot of past lives, and I had seen them earlier, and then the feet issue came up, and we understood their importance. She was showing me how that these were for myself personally, but I went home one day, and my mother told me that my horse had to be put down. My mother was Stacy in that life, and of course the horse was Ella. And there was this shock, disbelief and this grief. We didn't get to say goodbye and didn't see this coming at all. And then fast forward to a Native American life where I'm on the back of a horse, victorious, arm up in the air, in victory, and my horse is shot. And again, it's that every time something good happens, it's taken away. There's this loss and this grief and this fear of moving forward. So
which we do have. A lot of us get on the verge of success and will sabotage ourselves somehow. And so it's interesting to watch the horse actually going through this process as well.
Wow.
And then the people she's brought around her, I have probably 4 people who are so in touch with Ella. One is Darcy, who she's changing their lives and what they're thinking. And then they came to her to help her heal and move forward. And literally, as soon as she figured out, Darcy expressed, this is what's happening. As soon as you're always to success, she was literally dancing behind the barn the next day. She would jump up in the air, twist and turn, and squeal. So she is so ready for people to come out to this workshop. Yeah. And she gives us the message. Darcy and I have talked about this message. It's not just coming and connecting with horses, but it's connecting people with their animals and how that can be such a healing process for everything, for our planet and where we are and all the chaos and the energy that we just don't understand. It connects with that. And we can teach you in this workshop how to connect to that magic energy of not just horses, but animals, all our animals that we love. They're here for a reason. They're with us. Us specifically for a reason. A lot of us has soul agreements that Darcy has talked about. Like in your fish, you said your fish was there for a reason. So it's expanding that energy. It's more than just, okay, come out and play with Stacy and Darcy's horses. And it's learning some really amazing things. Yeah. And just how I'm so excited about it.
And not only that, but the animals in your life are there, like Stacy said, there's very much a purpose. And you're always in contact with them. I believe they always come back to you. And it may be in this life or another, but there's, this continuum. And they're showing us, they're teaching us. And we can communicate with animals on the other side as easily as we can communicate with animals here. And I know that because my cat left. She decided created an illness, which really stunned me at first. But she said, I'm going to be your guide. She said, I'm going to be a guide and I can help people a lot more. And then when she crossed over and said what a wonderful party it was and woohoo, she said, I'm your guide. And then she said, and your daughter's guide, and your daughter's guide, and your dog's guide. And I said, I didn't think about that. You could be a guide to so many people. And she said, well, of course.
And can you imagine if we're closed up enough where we don't accept that? It's like, okay, so this is something we have to learn in this lifetime. And if we don't learn it in this lifetime, we're just going to be living the same stuff in the next time. Let's learn what we can learn here today. And through our workshop and through coming out and working with the horses, it allows that to open up and actually see it. Because again, that horse is that big magical thing. And like Anne was saying, you come into the workshop and, you are intimidated by the horses, especially if you've got, my young baby horse, Ruth, running around like a maniac. But we keep such a strong container, and then we have a really good relationship and know the horses. It's stuff you carry forward into your life, definitely. And it's stuff that helps you live a better, more enhanced life. I fully believe.
Yes.
Well, let's talk a little bit. We have a little bit of time left. It's important to talk a little bit about day 1 and day 2.
Okay, I'll let Darcy go through that.
Because you've broken it down into 2 days, which is brilliant.
Right. Okay. Well, first of all, Stacy will make you feel so safe. Any fear of horses that you may have or think you have, that'll fall away very quickly. So in the first day, we're going to be, practicing communication, sending and receiving information. And like I think I mentioned, body language and nonverbal cues. So it's gaining acceptance and trusting yourself, managing your energy. But we're going to jump into energies. We're going to talk about like subtle energies and chakras. And so everybody will have a feel. They'll take that away with them, and they'll build their confidence. And then 2 weeks later, on the 5th, on May 5th, we'll come back and go deeper. And with that, we'll be doing more like scanning, chakras, healing. We're going to look at, fear and anger and all those emotions and those beliefs. And I'm sure past lives will come up and messages will come in. There'll be lots of things that we can't even name that will show up that the animals will bring in, because we just kind of show up with a general agenda, and then we see what happens. Because actually what happens, I truly believe that each person that is there is called, and what they need will come through for them. And it could be anywhere. It's often like, Stacy talks about horses she's worked with or things that have happened, or my readings, we're just open what's supposed to come through well.
And we're limiting it to 8 people, so it's a small, intimate group. So we can expand and grow with what Darcy has just said. But Darcy and I, this is like our 2nd year together. This summer, we're really popping and really making a lot more workshops. So if that time doesn't work for you, we're doing different kinds of workshops. Somewhere you can bring your horse and learn specifically how to communicate with your horse if you have a horse. Other workshops more on energy. So we're in a neat creating period, and we're creating lots of things. So there's lots of opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, what we're all like, looking at and hearing from you is that this is really opportunities for people to say, what do I want to create more of in life? What do I want this to look like, be like, sound like, feel like for me? And who's there to teach this to me? Because I think that's what we're talking really for a lot of people is what a great experience to have, right?
Yeah, and also, so many of my clients, it's like, oh, I am stuck in this life. I'm tired of this life. I want to change, but I have no idea what I'm passionate about. What do I want to do? What do I want to create with my life? So not even, some people come in, at zero. What do I want to do? A lot of that is even called up through what we do.
I was going to mention that same thing, that it really can be life-changing. If you're ready to open the door to possibilities, this is it.
Totally.
Wow. Okay, how can people find out more? Where can they go? What can they do to sign up? All of the above.
Okay, I know they can go to my website, which is centaurdevelopment.com, and that's CENTAUR development.com. We've got it on our web pages, Darcy Perceau website, our Facebook pages. It's also on the radio, right?
Yes, it is. It is, and we only have 3 spots left, too.
Yeah.
So we're almost full.
So just like Google, even just Google Stacy and Darcy, animal communication, and it'll come up.
Awesome.
We've tried to get it out everywhere, yes.
Awesome. We have like a minute left. One last question for both of you. What is your personal message? What would you like to leave all of us with today?
Oh, that's easy for me. Follow your passion. So follow your passion.
And for me, it's step into your power and be what you came here to be.
I love it. One more time, websites, please. Thank you for joining us here today.
Stacy, that's my email. So website, centaurdevelopment.com.
DarcyPariso.com, DarcyPariso.
Awesome. And I'm Dr. Pat. For more information about us, go to thedrpatshow.com or transformationtalkradio.com. We're going to take a little short break, and when we come back, more with the Dr. Pat Show on Transformation Talk Radio.
Thank you.
Preceding audio was via a Skype call.